Hello and welcome to Dungeon Damsels. I am Tiffany, the GM for this homebrew game. Our players are Serena, aka Slothy Claus, as Kiara. We have Amelia, aka Amelia Pendraws, as Princess Kiara Aurelia, aka Ari. We have Michael, aka Robosardi, as Elendriel, aka Ellie. And then we have Mckenna, who plays Luna. If you've been following, you'll have noticed that I am the worst at details. And I've not had my recordings working, so I've had to be very creative. This theme continues, but only for the first 40 minutes of the session. It seems at some point I caught on that the recordings weren't working. Anyway, the damsels have crashed a feyparty and are trying to do a friend a solid, that's our turtle, by busting his mom out of the Fey Queen's prison. To do so, they have to collect the keys to the magic jail. So far, they have 3 out of 4. During their adventures, Coyote, previously played by Kristen, aka Chriselli on Tumblr and Starry Sunset, Coyote had a showdown to the death with her brother Thrannion. She totally killed him. After that, she was called to the pilgrimage that her goddess, Briotriocht, mentioned before, so she left. Look, the player really wanted to leave, okay. So the party adopted Ari, a new fellow party crasher. Their group is now resting in a servant's tent regroup, basically, because it's like the feyparty is essentially like a giant like outdoor festival where they have like tents and people are lounging in them, and the servants have like they don't have rooms per se, but they have tents to sort of sit in. And anyway, they find like the back room for one of them and go and just lounge on the couches for a short rest. They find some extra servants closed, and they're just chilling out in the room. So while they're resting, we're going to do a little bit of a retcon. So while they're resting, Ellie and Luna both get sending messages. So Ellie gets a message from Narte. Narte is one of the Arcane Boys from way back when. He appears in episode 1. He says, Ellie, it's been a while. I've informed Adlana's family. Adlana was one of the original player PCs. Player characters, sorry, just PCs. Also left. Also, she vanished into the Devil Realm. So anyway, finally we're hearing about Adlana. I informed Adlana's family of the incident that Narte witnessed, the incident where Adlana fell through a portal and went to Borgovar, which is the Demon Realm. Okay, keep pace. He says, we finally got a lead on her location in Borgovar, and then he says, I think we're going to need backup, but we also have like a little bit of time. Adlana is safe for the time being, but it won't stay that way forever. And then Ellie basically says, oh yeah, totally, we'll help. We just got to get out of the Feywilds first, and then we'll come help you. And after that, Luna also gets a message from a female that says, hi Luna, it's Neffy, and for context, Neffy, short for Nefertiti, is Galak's stepsister. Galak is Luna's boyfriend. We got lots of connections here, guys. Watchers. And she says, it's been a full major trine since you went to the forest. Are you okay? Gels is going a bit crazy and I'm locking myself in my shed for a few days and not eating way. And then Luna responds with, yeah, we're okay. Time just passes differently here. I think we're helping a friend. And I think we're working on a way to get back home, tell Gels to eat, bring him some food. He just gets stressed out. And so Luna promises that she will find a way back. And then we'll get into what the players are saying.
While they're talking, Kiara looks over at Ari and is just like, not a common occurrence. It just is happening currently. We've not checked in with anyone. And she looks at like, it's both Ari and, oh my god, why'd my brain blank? Noalia. My brain's trying to say Nefertiti, and I'm like, oh, no, she's not here. That is not a character in this game. She's not here. That's...
His full name is Nefertiti.
Yeah! It's like, I don't know this character. I don't know these actors. Yeah, Noalia. So she looks at the both of them, it's like, they're both just receiving mail right now. Apparently we've been gone for a minute, so...
How long have you been here?
They were only here for like a day or so before the party, I thought. 2 or 3 sleeps. Yeah. Doesn't feel like a month, but apparently it's a month and
I should have paid more attention to time zone differences in my lessons.
I was just like, oh, hey, you're ahead of me. You had time zone lessons.
They're
And
boring.
Noalia knows all about it now. Through experience. Sorry, lass.
Nualia is just rifling through the servants' clothes and can only find pixie-sized outfits. She puts a pair of tiny pants in her hands and wiggles her fingers like little legs. When you say that, she says, "Yeah, it's been a while. I want to go back." Meanwhile, Ellie is just twirling in her oversized fuchsia outfit and holds the hem aloft. "This doesn't change colors!" Flops on the ground and rolls around in pure excitement.
And it doesn't change green.
I forget if we decided that if I could use minor illusion to just make myself look like I had a uniform, because mine is too small.
You'll walk out of the illusion with different clothes.
It's glitching out on me.
He's like, gosh, this is great. Leaves. Oh no. Skyrim moment. Wait, that's my horse.
Oh, she's wearing the outfit as a cat, remember?
Yay!
At this point, the party has rested, so you can make together your things and set out to leave. Kira, you have 2 sets of armor on you.
And that big giant box I've been carrying too. She's been carrying quite a few
your
things.
Eyes slide over to the bag of holding.
Yeah, it's just getting heavier. Like the armor was the end of it. She's like, I like this. She looks at the bag lovingly.
You notice a black mark on your navel that was there before. You kind of threw it away as perhaps a bruise, but this seems to be expanding.
It doesn't look like a bruise. Usually the bruises are like a deeper bluish, reddish, and she's like,
Yeah, to your knowledge, you have not been hit in this area, and you haven't done anything to merit a bruise there.
And it's not raised or anything?
No, it's smooth.
So it's not a rash. So she's just like, she probably like goes back to what she was wearing. She's like, it's not ink. It's not ink. It wasn't on my dress. It's not a rash. She just sort of does that thing. She's like, I can think about it. Problems for later.
Problems for later. Yep. Problems for later. Yes, you're a little bit you're trying to not fuss over it. You're just gonna
yeah.
Put that aside, and in the meantime, you're going to put away your armor and try to not think about it.
Oh. Kiara just sort of like rubs it a little bit. Now you're gonna have to behave yourself because this bus would bite back. Bus, of course, pertaining to giant alligators that young drow children would ride as a sort of play game that's super dangerous.
Yeah, Kira, you feel a sort of presence in your stomach. And I'd like to preface this as not pregnancy.
No, it is no, this is a preternatural being. It's got nothing to do with its mental and soul occupation. It has nothing to do with any inception of any sort.
Yeah, it's not pregnancy. Just putting that down there. Anyway, it's she feels this.
It's your center. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel this presence in your core, your center. Okay.
Yeah.
And it thrums.
No congratulations are in order.
No. And even then, it would still be not. It was, and even then, it's probably not a congratulations at all.
Yeah, we're not going to be calling this your bouncing baby boy anytime soon. So.
Yeah, Kiara just like looks at it like, and after like assessing that it's nothing from her clothing and everything, and like that little stir in her mind, she's like, oh wow, we're gonna have to leave soon. Oh yeah, we're going to have to leave. She likes it here, but she's like, we're gonna have to go. Time to go. Get that old truck a rolling.
Yeah, it seems that the longer you stay in the Feywild, the more active this whatever being becomes. It's the tattoo, or the mark has expanded. You feel its presence growing in you. It's very uncomfortable. You can even feel like it's echoes of its mind like brushing against yours as it gains more presence within you. You're not exactly sure why. It could have to do with it being in the Feywilds. It could have to do with something else. At this moment, you are not sure. Yeah, and at this point, I think the team has like 3 of the 4 keys, and the only place you have left is to go to the palace to get the 4th one.
We got the one from the room. We got the one from the other guy who with the laugh, and then the courtesan. So, yeah. 3.
Yeah, and Ellie at this point actually was with Kira and notices that there is a like purple smudge on her, and goes over to inquire about it. Like, hey, like what is that? And she then does a medicine check to try to figure out what's going on. And she rolls really high, to which I respond, you look at this, you examine it, you go through all of the medical knowledge. I think she rolled like over a 20 for this, but Ellie just would have no knowledge of this entity or what it does, so I said no. And so Ellie looks at it and has no clue what's going on. And she looks up and says, well, you're definitely not pregnant. Then the team goes out of the tent and faces the palace. And they see the servants coming out of like these side corridors that go along the bottom tier of the palace, and they're coming in and out of it, and they scoot along the side of the palace trying to find like a servant entrance, and I believe they run into like a guard. Ellie suggests that Kira walk up, and because her outfit looks pretty good, to try to talk her way in. But because she's a drow, it's, they're not super.
Oh no! Yeah, drow are not specific to Fae.
Okay, the next part I'm just going to summarize. They approach the palace and debate on how to break an entry. As while they're walking towards it, they haven't reached it yet. Ari suggests that she uses poison spray on the guards. Kira intervenes and asks Ari if she knows how the servant system works. Ari makes an intelligence check and gets a whopping 7, so she knows how they serve her, but not how their internal system works. Therefore, poison spray was offered again. Ellie has an idea where she and Theron are geese. Again. They distract, this idea involves distracting the guards as geese, and then the others sneak by. While they're conversing multiple ways to get in, a Fae with the same server's outfit approaches them and asks them, who are you? What are you doing at the palace? And, I don't remember any drow being a part of our employee roster. And at this point, Kira attempts to lie and explain that it's an exchange program, but she also gets a nat 1, she gets a nat 1 and does not convince this Fae. And this Fae just looks at him and then basically says, you're lying. And Ari attempts to karate chop them with a mage hand. Kira tries to use fairy fire to throw him off, and all attempts fail. So then Kira straight intimidates him with a solid 29.
Oh no! So I'm the scariest thing he has ever met. So apparently 18 plus 5 is 23, and then that's just 29 immediately. Just all lying, sir. I'll have you know that I take this transfer very, very seriously. I've been here longer than is expected, and I expect to do my job well. And if you will just allow me to proceed, I will now take these scrubs that have barely any experience under their belts, and I will get us to our commanding officer so that we may commit to this party in the way that we were intended to. If you please.
And with that roll, the Fae crumples down and squeaks out a "as you were" and scampers off. The team forgot about Deirdre again, so they sent Oculus to collect her. The familiar finds Deirdre awash in conversation with Lord Kieran, a fellow drow mage. She is loath to part, but does follow Oculus to the party. Deirdre joins the party and looks at Ari and says, "New friend?" The party responds with a nervous mm-hmm, and then they have a nice act natural moment as another barrage of partygoers walks by. And then we clip to them at the castle.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, so you guys managed to get to your steps of the palace now, okay? So you see the steps that wind up to the top of the stairs and go into the grand ballroom where you were dancing before. And since you've been in the ballroom before, you remember that there were two separate sets of stairwells. Okay, so there's one stairwell that goes down to the kitchen and potentially into the palace. And there's also a second set of stairs that goes up and potentially into the palace. There's a second story where you can kind of view what the dancers down. And additionally, since you're at the foot of the exterior stairs, you see to the sides that there are some servants coming around the side of the building. And you can see they have like trays of dirty plates, and they go off to the side and carry it that direction. So you think you could, like, there's probably a servant's entrance that way. It might, take longer. You might run into more servants that way, or you can try to enter through the servant's entrance in the ballroom. And then the last one would be the stairwell that you saw guests on at the second story. So you have three options.
Probably servant's entrance. What do you think? What do you think? We think we can blend in?
I guess we could try.
Yeah, so probably wait for those other people to clear out, and then the other servants to go on their way, count a little bit, and then if they don't emerge with empty hands, then it's just go in.
Yeah, I think Luna would have a tray and start just putting dirty, bussing tables and bringing her tray.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You guys start piling stuff on.
Right.
So you guys all kind of spread out, find trays, and collect some dirty dishes or towels or something, napkins.
This is awful.
You're just ew.
Somebody put that to their mouth.
And so you walk through the side, you kind of hug the side of the. You take the side path that hugs the exterior wall of the house, and you come to a door, basically. A servant's door. It's pretty obvious. A servant's door. There's a bell even, and some people are coming in and out. And there's a fae that walks out. And he has this big bag of some potato peelings or something, apple cores, and then he's basically a fae teenager, and he comes out and he's like, "Sup?" And he goes to the back, and you can see that there's some sort of waste processing going on back there. Where you actually see arthrofungi. For those of you who remember those are, and they actually accelerate the decomposition and then package it in fertilizer bags. So that's how they're good at it. Mushrooms. So you guys come into the kitchen, and
this is what those look like.
Well, okay, we'll give you a choice. You guys can either continue going back, or you guys can go into the kitchen with your trays.
I think back, right? Sort of trying to find the captain of the guard. We're trying to just get inside, right?
Yeah, either option is viable.
We're not totally encumbered. If we keep going, then we just pretty much make an about face to go to the kitchens. At the very least, we look like we're doing something, right?
Yeah, so you guys keep marching forward, come to where the arthrofungi are doing their work, and they're adult arthrofungi. They're kind of like they're puffing at each other. So this is a species that communicates through scent, and they don't have eyes or mouths or anything like that. And there are two of them. One is using magic to accelerate the decomposition, and the second one is basically shoveling them the fertilizer into sacks and piling them. And the Fey teenager comes back and he's like, "Yo, you're supposed to take the plates inside, but I guess you can just scrape stuff off here." And
We figure it'd be easier.
yeah.
Good advice, though. Thanks.
And he like turns around and like moonwalks. You know, just go and then kind of twirls and goes back inside.
He's just vibing. This guy's just
Backwards
vibing.
but forwards. Or forwards but backwards.
And so you guys go about your
Ellie's just like,
your job. You know, you kind of scrape off some stuff.
There's magic everywhere, Ellie.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Are you really that
Somebody
hungry?
else already ate that.
Yeah, but you barely ate any of it.
It's alright, you're biting on the other side. Alright, yeah, you're biting on the other side. It's totally a different apple at that point.
And like Nualia's just like, what?
What?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, they just didn't finish.
Farron,
And Kiara just like pops in, like just like pops in her mouth without really thinking about it. It's like, oh, yep, that's just the full thing. Yeah, there you go.
and off in the corner,
It's a bread roll. They're very yummy.
yeah, it's all vegetarian, so it's
Yes.
perfect.
Hmm.
And just to the side, there's Luna, who's just like kind of muttering under her breath, saying, "I really miss Kayanthe's prestidigitation now."
It's going to be a lot of that.
She's gonna flick some.
And then Kiara's like trying to be supportive, so, like pats her back, like, yeah.
And so
I start using Mage Hand so I don't have to get my own hand.
No.
So at the back, you guys can see that there's an open window. So if you want to, you can potentially climb through that, but it just goes. There's no other door this side. It just is the back of the building, and then forest. So you guys could double back through the kitchen doors, or you can haul it through this window.
I'm gonna have Boink kind of peek through the window and just see where it kind of leads to.
Okay, yeah. So Boyd started in summon, I believe. So
Yeah.
he's out and flutters up to the window.
We'll dragonfly.
He looks through it, and it's a hallway. It's very nice, resplendent. Even the walls of smooth wood have been expertly carved into plant motifs. It's currently empty. At the end of the hall, you can see that there is a patrol that does, pass through it. They seem very, leisurely, and they have just rounded the corner going, so there's definitely, a window of time to pass through.
Go through the window if we're really careful. I can pass without a trace on it. It's not going to make us invisible, but it'll make us a little bit harder to find.
I like that. That's very helpful. That works for all of us. Except for Nuali, who's a rogue. Nuali, if we just can moonwalk through the
I
wall.
believe it's for 10 people.
She's like, sure. And Theron,
Alright.
Alright, so
Theron,
Theron's fine. He's a goose.
Theron will goose quack honk at Ellie and
Ah.
Can I change back now?
you could always change back. I don't know why you were staying as a goose.
Wait, and she's just like, wait.
Yeah, you silly goose.
You mean that's not a goose?
And Kiara's just like, yeah, not yet. And then she removes the little collar so he doesn't I don't know. So when he's just back, she's like, one moment. There you go. Although it did look quite smart on you.
And the goose shifts into a half-elven figure. He's a druid. He's he's younger than you-ish. He's probably like 15 biologically.
Well, that's what I am.
Oh,
Ah!
no, you're 16.
I have it down as 15.
Oh, I thought you were 15.
You're 15 and a half? Excuse me.
So he's on the younger end of teenagerdom. He has dark brown hair. He has I think I gave him green eyes. I believe it's either green or brown. I don't remember. And he just puts his hand up, says, "Theron, hi."
This is Theron the
Hi.
goose. We found him as a goose. He's actually just a goose dressed as a boy now. Pats him on the back. You did really good at blending in.
Like as a like point together, like there, we saved him from a necromancer plant dragon.
Yeah, they did do that.
Cool.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, here's my dad. So that was an interesting.
Can you only turn into a goose?
No, I can turn into other stuff.
Oh, okay.
We chose goose.
Yeah, that was the consensus. Goose, for some reason, was the choice. So I went with it.
I mean, people didn't seem to mind.
Because we came in as Iron Maidens of the Unmother.
Yeah.
And yeah, no one noticed, no one questioned the goose, so it worked out. That's my sister. He points to Nualia.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Buckley.
I know Nualia.
Just
We
chilling.
fell down an elevator. That's the one I fell down an elevator shaft with.
Oh yeah! Good times!
I would recommend that when we go inside, we don't use the elevator shafts.
Yeah, seconded. Their stairs are much safer.
Well, luckily, I think we're just going to be going down to basement level, so if we don't find another way down there, we might just have to recurse to that. I think we have rope somewhere in here. Really, like, pats the little bag of holding proudly, like, yay!
Alright,
Okay,
so
out the window.
yep, the windows on the second story, and it's a big building, so it's gonna be like 50 feet up. And you're getting the rope up there.
No problem, I got this. And I.
Wait, why are we going on the roof? Wait.
Rope. Yeah.
Rope!
Rope.
Okay.
Rope to the window, unless you want to attempt to scale the walls themselves or do something else
No.
to get up there.
I'm gonna.
No.
I mean, this is the. I'm all for this, so this is what I'm gonna do. Here, just put the rope in my mouth. Don't worry, it'll make sense.
Kiara, I want to see where this goes.
And then I'm gonna wild shape, and I'm gonna turn into a goose, and I'm gonna fly out the window.
So you get a running start. I think geese need a running start to fly, so you,
Sure.
and you arc
They're strong
around
flyers and attackers.
and fly into the window. And you are now on the second story as a goose with a rope.
Is anyone willing to carry a cat up this?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
Okay, and then
I'm gonna turn
Kiara with
into
a
a
strength of
cat
20,
now.
she's fine.
and then am I able to like transform back and tie off the rope so they can scale?
Yeah. You can transform back and make an intelligence check for your knot.
Intelligence not. I am so smart.
So smart.
Wow. I've rolled so many of these, and the game has barely started. I rolled a nat 1, baby.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
Kiara's gonna give it a nice hefty yank because she likes to, because she is quite heavy. She's
I'm
all
just,
muscle.
like, wrapping it around, and I'm like, all right, it's good.
You pull.
You see it fall.
Yeah, you give it a nice. You're like tug tug. Yeah.
Try it again, dear.
Can I mage hand the other end up to her?
Yeah, you can. I believe.
I'll mage.
Oh, you can.
Mage.
Mage hand is 30 feet, so you can get it part way up there.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
I hate to do this, but
Baron, I know you just turned back. Do you mind being a goose and help? Could you be a dearie goose and help her? Or wait, no. She looks at Nualia. No, I don't really think we should scale aside the building, unless you want to.
Walia has this like wild look in her eyes, and she's like, "I want to do it."
All right, we have a volunteer. Please be safe.
You see her just kind of like doing some warm-ups.
And Kiara like ties like as she's doing it, like Kiara just like tentatively ties the rope to her belt, like ties it around her waist like a belt, so that if anything happens, she's still holding the rope, but she can scale up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so is Nualia scaling up the wall?
Yeah, she's gonna try to scale up the wall.
Rogue wants in on the action. A wild look in her eyes.
She's gonna use her acrobatics to do it. Alright, so she rolled a natural 20 with her plus 9. And so she's like, I got this. You see her just kind of like parkour, like vault herself up there. She does like a run and then grabs onto like a secondary window, a window or an outcropping. She just scales this thing with this impeccable speed and then lands on the other side of the window. We'll see if. Okay, so guards are not back. Okay, she did an okay knot.
Can I like
Okay.
assist her at all?
Oh yeah, assist her. Yeah, you can assist her with the knot. You guys think this knot is pretty okay?
Kiara gives it another tug.
Oh, I put too many loops in and not enough knots.
Yeah. And you tug it. It gives like a little bit, but you're like, okay. Understand that.
I'm gonna turn into a cat and get on your shoulders.
Yep.
Don't
Alright.
mind me. Thank you.
Of course.
I'm very bad at climbing.
No, that's fair. She's gonna look at everyone else and she's gonna be like, I'll go first. I'm the good tester. And then I'll hold it and I'll hold it afterwards. Alright, so I gotta make an athletics.
And I'm like, would he like?
Huh?
What's
Does Theron want to be a goose because he doesn't want to climb?
I think I'll just turn him into a squirrel.
A squirrel.
Yeah, he's a squirrel. He'll shift to a squirrel. He's pretty like logically driven, so he shifts into a squirrel and scurries up the rope.
My cat side of me is like, ooh, delicious.
Yeah. Okay, and so I can use acrobatics or athletics.
Either one, but I think if you're using the rope, it would be more of an athletic feat.
Yeah. It's about the same score, so it's like, yeah, 5 out of 5. All right, what's a 16 get me?
We're fine. Climb it up.
Yeah.
Rope stays. We're good. All right.
So then this-
I'm trying to not dig my claws. It's scary.
And Kiara's just like, oh, doing fine. She pretty much like once she's in the windowsill, she just like lets you off before like hoisting herself the rest of the way in. She does look at the knot though. It looks pretty sound, I'm sure.
Hello, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you so much for listening to Dungeon Damsels. We really appreciate all your support. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us out.
And if you're interested, we also have a Patreon as well as a podcast version of our show. You can find it on Spotify, TuneIn, Podcast, Podbean, and pretty much anywhere where podcasts are. Thank you again so much, and we hope to hear from you soon.